You pull out your phone, unlock it in a second, and move on with your day. It feels obvious now. A flat piece of glass, no keyboard, no maze of buttons. Just tap, swipe, done. That is the story most people carry around. Steve Jobs saw the future, walked on stage in 2007, and changed everything exactly the way he meant to. But that is not how this started. Jobs did not even want Apple to build a phone. Engineer Andy Grignon later said Jobs did not really see the path to success. CNBC reported it took a late-night email from Apple Vice President Michael Bell on November 7, 2004, then hours of argument before Jobs finally agreed to move forward. And even after he did, Apple did not act like a company unveiling its destiny. It acted like a company hiding a risk. Inside Apple, the project had a code name, Project Purple. Part of the team worked in a locked-down building nicknamed the Purple Dorm, with badge readers and cameras. Scott Forstall later said they put a Fight Club sign on the door because the rule was simple: what happened inside stayed inside. That secrecy covered another uncomfortable truth. Apple did not even know what kind of phone it was building yet. Under Project Purple, two internal teams pushed two different ideas. Tony Fadell's group built P1, which treated the phone more like an iPod, with a click wheel at the center of the experience. Scott Forstall's group built P2, a multi-touch device running a scaled-down version of Mac OS X, the touchscreen Path 1. And there was a reason Jobs hesitated in the first place. In the mid-2000s, the iPod was one of Apple's main profit engines. A phone that played music and handled internet features was not just a new product. It was a possible replacement for the product Apple already had. The risk was not that a phone would fail. The risk was that it might succeed by eating the iPod. So Apple made the harsh choice early. Better to replace its own hit than wait for somebody else to do it. Then the hardware nearly betrayed them. The first iPhone was supposed to ship with a plastic screen cover. Jobs carried a prototype in his pocket for several weeks, alongside keys and coins, and the screen came back scratched. That was enough. He pulled in his engineers and demanded that plastic be replaced with glass. Simple decision, brutal timing. Jobs then pushed Corning to mass-produce a scratch-resistant glass on roughly a 6-month deadline tied to the iPhone's early 2007 unveiling. Corning CEO Wendell Weeks later said the company did not yet have manufacturing capacity ready for that glass, and had to convert an existing plant to meet the schedule. One scratched prototype did not just change a material spec, it forced a manufacturing scramble. Apple was also not alone. In December 2006, LG announced the Prada phone, the KE-50, and it went on sale in May 2007. Ahead of the iPhone's June 2007 release. It is widely credited as the first phone with a capacitive touchscreen. It was not the same product as the iPhone. It lacked multi-touch, had a smaller, lower-resolution screen, and far less storage. But it mattered. Apple was not introducing the idea of a buttonless touchscreen phone into an empty world. Then came the carrier gamble. In 2007, Apple signed a 5-year US exclusivity deal with AT&T, tying the iPhone to a single network before the product had proved anything in the market. Later court filings confirmed the length of the agreement, and reporting at the time said the arrangement also included revenue sharing. The launch did not just depend on the device. It depended on one carrier relationship holding together. And then there was the demo, the part everybody remembers as clean and effortless. It was neither. According to Fred Vogelstein's 2013 reporting in the New York Times Magazine, Jobs went through roughly 100 full rehearsals before the January 9, 2007 keynote, and reportedly never once completed the whole demo without the software glitching. Inside the team, the safe sequence of taps and swipes that avoided known bugs had a name: the Golden Path. That meant the presentation only worked if Jobs followed a memorized route through the phone in exactly the right order. To reduce the odds of failure, the demo units were configured to always show full signal bars no matter the actual reception, and multiple backup iPhones were kept nearby so he could switch devices if one crashed or ran low on memory. From the audience, it looked like a finished future. Backstage, it was a controlled near miss. The iPhone did not succeed because Apple knew it had a winner. It succeeded because a small group of people kept fixing fatal problems one at a time until there was no time left to fail. That is the part hindsight erases. Every one of those near misses had to break the right way, in order, with no room for a second try. So when you unlock your phone now, you are not touching the product of a smooth master plan. You are touching the version that survived. Every effortless tap is standing on a pile of things that nearly went wrong.